Hey guys. Okay, so today we are going to talk about pregnancy and hormones and friends and all that good jazz. So being pregnant is like a huge change in your life. Everybody knows that. Like, you're bringing a new life into this world. And so a lot of things become about the baby. And so I have just a few things that I wish I would have known, or just some stuff that now that I do know, I feel like it's important to express to others. I found out January 2017. I had just graduated from Howard. And so for me, it was just a little interesting, like, okay, so what next? Because I was going to go to law school originally, but my due date was September 4th. And so there was no way that I would be able to start law school in August and have my baby literally like a week after school started. And so I literally just took the time and worked my ass off. I worked up until I went into labor on a Tuesday. I worked the Sunday before I went into labor. So they tell you guys to walk and to be active and stuff, but it really does help. Like, towards the end, I was 9 months pregnant, like being able to bend down and like being, as I said, I worked. I was a server though at that, and that's important for me to mention. I didn't sit on my behind and work a desk job 9 to 5. No, I worked. Like, I was walking around, like running around, like getting food, working till 3 o'clock in the morning because the restaurant I worked at was open till 3 in the morning. So like literally just like I literally did everything when it came to me working. And so, but it, as I said, I do think that it did really help me as far as me being able to stay on my feet for a little minute while I was pregnant. Fun fact, I went to Cuba, which actually brings us to my next kind of like topic in this vlog, which is friends. Like, you know how people say you find out who your real friends are when you have a baby or when you're pregnant, and truthfully I'd have to agree. And I was very blessed that I was like positively surprised. I mean, of course I did still lose a couple friends, because I took it very, very personal when people didn't come to my baby shower. And it could have been my hormones, but honestly, like, I took it personal just because I always considered myself a good friend. And so for me, my baby was something that was so important to me, and I felt like if you weren't there, then you didn't care. And for me, it was just kind of like, if you didn't care about my baby, you don't care about me. So I was willing to lose any and whoever over my baby shower. I mean, and truthfully, that's okay, y'all. Like, don't let people try to tell you you're being dramatic. Like, your child is your life. Like, your child is somebody who means the world to you. So why would you not want people who like are important to you to care about that? If you don't care about that, then you don't care about me, period. You feel me? But I brought all of this up to, let's go back to Cuba, to where we started. I brought all of this up to kind of just say that you have to, like, you don't have to stop your life once you're pregnant. Like, you don't have to stop hanging out with your friends and like stop going out. I really wish I still had this video of me in Cuba, y'all, but I was, okay, so I went to Cuba in July. That means I was 7 months pregnant. And I was going out with my friend every night, like, or we didn't go every night, but I did go out with her, like, for her birthday, because that's why we went for her birthday. I went out with her, like, and I was sitting there in the club eating food and just having a good time. Like, and just because I'm not able to drink, or just because I'm not able to, you know, do the stuff that other people may be able to do, doesn't mean that you can't have fun. Like, y'all, me going to Cuba and having to walk around a lot, that helped me with my pregnancy. Like, I had never felt better after I spent a day walking around Cuba, and like, and you obviously, you don't gotta go out the country, but literally just after I spent the time going out and walking, and like, it genuinely helped me feel better. Like, as far as like my legs weren't sore, like, I literally felt good. I told you I can drop it low, like, yeah. But yeah, and as I said, it goes back to kind of the subject of having friends. Like, for me, my friends made that experience fun. Like, she made sure that she accommodated to, you know, how I was, and like, I would try to find dresses that didn't look so pregnant, because I'm like, oh, we going out, like, let me not. And she would just be like, sis, the bump is there. Like, it is what it is. But as I say, it doesn't mean that it has to stop your fun. And any friend who feels like you can't be friends with them, or y'all aren't as close because you're pregnant, like, honestly, just take it as a blessing and move forward. Like, because it's truthfully, like, when you have a child, so one of the main things that, like, kind of annoys me is people ask, like, oh, if he ever needs anything, let me know, or let me, like, I'm not gonna, like, ask you to do things, like, for my child and stuff, but if you genuinely love them and you genuinely care for them, then you're going to want to do it. Like, you know that my child is a person, that he needs to eat every day, like, he needs to bathe, like, you know that he needs things, so just do it, you know? So for me, I think that is where I kind of saw where my real friends were, as far as the people who made an effort to not just my baby shower and my gender reveal, because y'all, when I tell y'all I took it personal, I did not care. You get dropped. You get dropped. You, like, what? You didn't come to my shop? You get dropped. I don't care. Like, that's not a thing unless you have a real reason. Like, do not tell me because y'all go above and beyond for my friends. But that's a whole nother story. But yeah, so yeah, showing y'all, you know, a couple pictures from the gender reveal and the baby shower. So it was a very good turnout. I was extremely blessed by the amount of things that I got. And truthfully, y'all, this is another thing. So it's so funny. So before I got pregnant, I had said that when I had my baby shower, like, oh, only certain people was gonna be invited, blase. Y'all, invite everybody, because when I tell you, and truthfully, I mean, just being real, like, you need as many gifts as you can get. Like, what? Like, when I say I didn't have to buy diapers for my child until he was 9 months, 9 months, I didn't buy a single diaper, a single wipe, a single, like, literally the crib in his room was paid for with gift cards that we got from our baby shower. The stroller that he has for my grandma, like, the car seat that we have is with gift cards from, like, we was not playing. We was not messing around. Like, we invited everybody, simply because we knew that, like, we would need as much help as possible. And honestly, like, it was a blessing. Still to this day, I haven't run out of baby wash or, like, shampoo, little stuff like that. All his toys were bought by other people, his clothes. I didn't have to buy a single outfit for him until recently. That is, like, my take kind of on friends. You're gonna kind of realize who your friends are, but and I mean, truthfully, I'm still realizing it. Like, it's not just when you're pregnant in a baby shower. Like, once that baby get here, as I said, what are you doing to make an effort to be in my child's life? And I will say I'm so blessed that, because when it comes to godparents, y'all, be very careful who you choose as godparents, because a lot of people like this idol, but a lot of people aren't necessarily going to be the best person for that. I looked up when I chose my baby's godmom.
Oh, this is really cute. The dramatic opening. It is. So many layers. Will you? You didn't even open the whole thing. Oh, sorry. It says it in blue.
Yeah, but you didn't even open the whole thing.
Sorry. Okay, I just got so excited. You read out loud? Mommy and Daddy need all the help they can get, so even though I already have one, will you be my other... Oh, damn it. Who's the other one, Lauren?
Yeah.
Oh. Of course I will.
Yay! This smells delicious.
Look.
And it says,
And this is the baby.
Yeah, that's
Yay! Oh my God, I can't even.
She is the greatest, and she makes it very, like, y'all, when I was, y'all, this girl travels for me, basically. She lives in New York, I live in DC, and she will come babysit for me at the drop of a dime. Like, all you got to do is call her, give her a little, you know, a day in advance so that she can make her travel arrangements, and she will be here. But that's the type of godmom that I wanted for my child. Like, I was very careful when picking because I just knew that I wanted somebody who was going to genuinely be there for my child. Since I didn't necessarily have a good relationship with my godmom, I just kind of wanted to make sure that my child had that relationship. And so that just goes to say, like, don't just choose your best friend or your close friend or just, you know, somebody who got money as your baby godchild, because as your baby godparent. But yeah, so let's get to the juicy stuff. Let's talk about labor. So as I said, I worked the Sunday before I went into labor. I went into labor on a Tuesday. I worked that Sunday. I didn't have my baby until that Thursday. So I was in labor for around 48 hours. I tell people 38. But, okay, so I'm going to just break it down for y'all. So Tuesday, I had a doctor's appointment. And I asked my midwife to check to see how far dilated I was. Because, so, originally I wanted to have a water birth. I still want to have a water birth, hopefully one day. So I was supposed to have a water birth. And so the place that I went, it was a community health center. So I was in like a pregnancy group where everybody in my group had their baby. So I was mad. So I asked my midwife to check to see, you know, when my baby coming. So she checked to see if I was dilated. And then she said I wasn't really, like 1 or 2 centimeters. And then later that, so ever since so when they check to see if you're dilated, like they stick their finger up you, basically. And so ever since she did that, it was painful, y'all. Like, so after she did it, like, even when I went home and started, like, we had just moved into a new place. So I was, like, putting together the dining room table. And I was just, like, I was a little bit in pain, but I was trying to, like, think past it. I was, like, it's just from her, you know, going up there, like, you know. So fast forward to that night, I could not sleep, y'all. Like, it was pain. Like, it was painful. It hurt. Like, I was like, oh my God. But I didn't think that I was in active labor because I could bear it. And so I had always heard all these stories about how when you're in labor, you're going to know because, like, it's going to be so painful. You won't be able to talk, all this other stuff. So I handled it by myself throughout that whole night. I didn't sleep at all. And so I handled it. I didn't call my midwife because, as I said, I didn't think that I was in active labor. But the next morning I called because it was still going on. But I did call my mom that night. I called my mom, and so she got on the plane. You know, she was like, okay, because her flight was actually scheduled for the next day. The day that her flight was scheduled for August 31st, which is the day that my son got there. So had she had been on her original flight, she would have missed him. So she came. Yeah, so I called my mom. I told her that I was going to labor. So she was like, okay, I'm going to be on the next flight. And so I called my midwife. And so she gave me, a pill, a pain pill. She gave me a pain pill, and she said that I should take it because I still wasn't in active labor. Like, she checked to see if I was dilated again, and I was still the same, like 1 or 2 centimeters. And so she gave me a pain pill, and it was supposed to help me relieve the pain so that I could go to sleep because, mind you, as I said, I was up the night before because I couldn't sleep. Like, it was painful. So she gave me a pain pill, and so she said that it should work, and so the pain should go away so that I should be able to sleep. Long story short, that didn't happen. I took the pill, and I was still in pain, so I called her. And so she gave me another pill. This pill was supposed to make me go to sleep. So the first pill, it was supposed to stop the pain so that I could go to sleep. This pill was just supposed to make me drowsy. Like, it was supposed to just put me to sleep. And it didn't work again. So I was literally just like, none of this is working. I'm in pain. And so now, mind you guys, I said I wanted to have a water birth. I was supposed to have a water birth. And so but the water birth was supposed to be at a community center. It was not supposed to be at a hospital. I was supposed to avoid hospitals altogether. And so I call her and I'm like, the pill didn't work either. So she's like, okay, so at this point we can strip your membranes and hope that the baby will come. Like, we can strip your membranes and then you can go home and maybe the baby will come like after, you know, a while, or we can take you to the hospital and you can, I'm trying to think what it was something. that they make morphine. That sounds kind of right. I think they gave me morphine. So I went to the hospital for that. So she was like, either or you can go to the hospital, but if you go to the hospital, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna have the baby at the hospital. And she knew that that was my concern. Like, I wanted to, you know, be at a birth center, but she was like, if you go to the hospital, they're gonna give you morphine. They're gonna like just make the baby come. Like, you're gonna have the baby at the hospital. And y'all, I didn't hesitate. I was like, take me to the hospital, because I was so over being in pain. I was so over it. And so truthfully, after that, it was kind of a blur. So like, I was drugged up. Obviously, I had all those damn pills in my system. And then they put me on morphine. So like, yeah, I was out of it. I was very delusional. All I remember is the nurse coming in and saying, and she was reading me some stuff, and I was just agreeing, and she was like, okay, repeat back to me what I said. And I was like, you said I have to sign this. And she was like, okay, I'm not gonna make you sign anything until you're good, because I literally missed everything that she said except for you gotta sign this. So yeah, so I was a little delusional. But so this was Wednesday night when I finally went to the hospital. So mind you, I had already been in labor for about 24 hours. And so finally, so I'm in the hospital, and my damn midwife, she was like, oh, well, we can do your epidural soon. Now, I had never told her that I wanted an epidural, and I never told her that I didn't want one. But I assumed that she knew that I didn't want one, because I was you know, gonna give birth at a birthing center. And so at first I was like, no, like, I don't want an epidural, like, I'm okay. And she was just like, Caprice, you've been in labor for around 30 something hours now. And she was like, you haven't even pushed yet, and you have not slept. She was like, you are tired, like, you need to go to sleep before it's time for you to push, or else you're not gonna have the energy to push, and you don't have an option, like, when it comes to you pushing. So she was like, I'm not gonna make you get an epidural. However, I strongly suggest it, because you need to go to sleep. And so at first I'm like, no, I don't want it. But I didn't cry or nothing. I was a G. I ain't yelling nothing, and my mama can attest to that. The entire time I was in labor, I was, but that's just how I handle pain. I was just very, I was quiet. Just, that's literally the only way I could use to describe it. I was quiet. But I also didn't want to talk and stuff, though. Like, I was literally quiet. Like, just everybody leave me alone. But yeah, so finally, so I was talking to, so my mom was like, Cece, get the epidural. And I was like, I don't want to. And then, so, okay, because, so I didn't tell y'all, so they had to manually break my water. So when I got to the hospital and had morphine, they had to manually break my water. They put me on a machine and had my contractions start coming. Like, they manually made my contractions come harder and harder and harder, to the point where, like, so that they can hurry the process up and get the baby coming. And so, you know, I'm on this machine, and then I had a damn oxygen mask, and I'm on this machine, and I'm just like, oh my God, I'm over here dying, because they keep increasing. They're like, and they tell me every time, like, okay, we're going to increase it now. We're going to increase it now. We're going to increase it. I'm like, and so finally I just told my mom was like, get the epidural, and I was like, okay, and I got it, y'all. Baby, when I tell you the second that shit kicked in, I went to sleep, and I did not really wake up until it was time to push. Like, I was so tired, and I went to sleep. I woke up, and truthfully, all I remember is like maybe 30 minutes later, the nurse let me know when it's time for you to push. And I'm thinking, like, how the fuck I'm gonna know if I don't feel nothing? But no, I mean, with the epidural, you feel that shit. So I mean, and it's more of a, you feel it internally. So like, you don't feel the child coming out of you, like your body is numb, but you feel it internally. Like, you feel it, you feel the pressure, you feel it, and you feel it internally. And it's nowhere, obviously it's nowhere near as bad as if you don't get a damn epidural. But you definitely do feel it. I don't want you to think that you're not gonna be in pain at all. But yeah, so I did that, pushed my baby out, had him at 1:17 p.m. August 31st. He was 8 pounds 6 ounces. My boo boo 21 inches. Y'all see him, he cute. But yeah, so I had him and it was love. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, you know, comment any other topics that you guys want me to talk about. I'm gonna definitely talk about co-parenting because, as I said, my baby in Florida, so yes, we be co-parenting, and trust me, I got some stories. So yeah, I'm gonna talk about co-parenting, you know, dating while a mom, but literally comment topics that you guys want me to talk about, and make sure you stay tuned for my next video. Thank you.